All right, what is going on YouTube? Aaron here. We are going to do a part 2 to the aiming guide slash armor viewer. Now, before I even get into this video, there are some, I'm going to do my best to explain this video to my subscribers. If you already know more than me, and some of you think you do, don't watch this video, don't even complete it. I'm going to do my best to describe to my knowledge the best way to read the armor viewer, and we're going to do it on the Iowa class battleship first, and then we're going to look at a few other ships. I made a video on where to aim and the Citadel guide really, but this is going to be the best way to do it. So what you do is you go to the ship you want, you go to ship options, you go over to armor. All right, now what do we have? Okay, we have armor groups. We have fore end plating. Okay, so right off the bat, this is the fore end plating. 32 millimeters. Basically, there is a metric in the game that determines if a ship will bounce a shell, if the armor will bounce that shell, or if the shell will penetrate. And what it is the 14.3 rule. Now, I really recommend if you're trying to get very good at this game to look at Wargaming's video, because they literally explain the metric on it, and I'm going to fucking ruin. I'm not going to explain it how well they do, and I'm probably going to get stuff wrong. So just keep that in mind. But here's the basics. If a ship is coming, if you're shooting at an Iowa like this in another Iowa. Let's use Iowa v. Iowa, which is a majority of what this game was in the beginning. You will not be able to punch the bow of the Iowa because, let me get my calculator out here, 406 divided by 14.3 is 28.39. The Iowa can punch through 28.39 millimeters of thickness. That is the 14.3 rule. So, for example, the Baltimore with a 27 millimeter bow can be punched by an Iowa. A Baltimore with a 27 millimeter bow, if you do 27 times 14.3, is 386.1. A Baltimore can bounce up to 386 millimeters of gun, basically. So let's look at the Bismarck, for example. The glitch is back. All right. Yes. Stats. The Bismarck has 380 millimeter guns, which equates to 15 inches. So the Baltimore can bounce 15-inch guns. That's the basics of the front plating and the armor angle. Now that is only at 0 to 30 degrees, I believe. Again, please watch Wargaming's video on this. They do an excellent job. So if you're bow tanking, which is putting the nose of your ship at the enemy, that is when you can deflect. It's like a guarantee. Now at this type of angle, and let's use the Yamato for example, because there we go. Front end plating. 460 divided by 14.3 is 32.16. Wait, that's more than 32, and you'd be correct. The Yamato can punch right through the front of Iowa's bow, and a lot of you who play Legendary Matchmaking know this, because you can get Citadel through the front, is pretty much what that means. So even if you are facing your big battleship, the Iowa class, towards the Yamato, you can get punched right through. And that's only the Yamato is one of the only ships in the game currently that can do that because of its massive 460 millimeter caliber guns. So let's go back to Iowa v. Iowa, and let's go to this angle. Now you do have 30 millimeter plating, but you're decreasing the angle at which that plating is being used. So there is I'm pretty sure it's 0 to 30, then 30 to 60, and then 60 to 90. So if you are 90 degrees against another Iowa, and let's go. So you can toggle on all this armor. So there's the plating, there's the torpedo protection, superstructure, not too much. Casemate armor, I'm pretty sure that's like, yeah, that's like a little extra protection there. I need to double check on the casemate. Here's the main battery, pretty thick, and what's protecting the guns. There is the Citadel, slightly above the waterline, and exactly where I said. Okay, I was almost correct. I said in between the starting, let's take my imaginary finger halfway through the front turret. It is actually to the front of the front turret. But I was pretty close. I was pretty damn close. But now it is confirmed. That is the Citadel of the Iowa. So again, we're in our Iowa class battleship, and we're shooting at this Iowa class battleship, and we hit at 90 degrees anywhere on this, aiming near the waterline, and we hit anywhere here. You are almost guaranteed to punch right through this armor. Now again, shell velocity and distance and all that play into a calculation, but you know, if we're right next to them, it's almost going to be a Citadel 9 times out of 10. You know, RNG and other things like that. Even if we are like right next to the ship, you can still overpen or there are different mechanics that Wargaming again goes over, and they have multiple video series which explain this better than I'm doing right now, which tell you that you can't. A Citadel is not guaranteed every time, is what I'm trying to say with this. So it's to say, wow, well, I got gypped on a Citadel there. You should have been a Citadel. Yes, but also there's a random number generator, which is what RNG stands for, that rolls a dice every time you shoot your gun, which says, well, why was that dispersion like shit? Well, you rolled a 1 instead of a 6, and that's not the exact, but that's basically what this game is a roll of the dice. Now, ships like the Iowa have a lot better dice roll with their dispersion than, let's say, the Bismarck, with the worst dispersion, I believe, in the game. Maybe get nice now, I don't know. But yes, so that is the Citadel, that is the front end plating. There are the turrets, so you can also Citadel the Iowa there in the turrets, but that's a very risky shot. I would still aim waterline. And that armor, as you can see, is very thick. Now, to my knowledge, okay, vital ship armor. I think that's an additional deck armor. Okay, here, Citadel bottom, Citadel deck, Citadel aft. Where's the thickest part? Okay. Okay, so the thickest part of the Iowa is 432 millimeters, which is the, it says, yes. So the only ship really, I think, that can punch that, which is, I think, where is that? Oh, it's on the, I think it's the side of the turret there. No, it's the middle of the turret. I think the only ship that can punch that is the Yamato. I believe. And that's at full angle. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So, you know, super heavily armored ships like the Bismarck, we'll go over that briefly next. You can, even if you have a perfect Citadel shot, which is why the Bismarck rarely gets Citadeled, it is possible. The only way you can you can punch through that, I think you can see it on the side. Look at the side of the gun there. Front plate. No, so that's the front plate. Okay, so the front plate of the Iowa is 432 millimeters. So I think the only way you can punch through that is if you get I'm pretty sure if you get enough penetration. Now, there are different values as well, like the John Bart has a penetration multiplier and things like that. But basically, the front plate of the gun of the Iowa is very tough, and again, there's certain calculations that you need, and I don't exactly know them, and I don't want to give you wrong information. But that is the Iowa class battleship, and that's pretty much the point of this video is this is where you need to aim if you want the massive Citadel hits on the Iowa. And it's pretty much right where I said in my aiming video. So there it is, and I appreciate Wargaming for giving us this video, but let's go ahead and go to the Bismarck. The Iowa had the all-or-nothing armor scheme, I believe. I'm pretty sure it did. I know the North Carolina did. And so pretty much the only thick parts of the ship were the Citadel and the turrets, and I think the conning tower. Pretty much the important parts, which gave them very good protection, but it left a lot of the other ship exposed, which is why you can get, look at, like, it's compared to the Bismarck. Fore end 60 millimeter plating. That is thick. That's called an icebreaker bow. Basically, it's just a very thick bow. Is what that is. 50 bottom, 432. So wait, fore end plating? Yeah, that's an icebreaker bow right there. Okay, wait, 180? What the hell is that? Fore end athward ship? Guys, this is... I'm not gonna do the best job explaining this. Every detail might not be as perfect as some people want it to be. So please watch Wargaming's video on this. I will try and link it below. But as you can see with the Bismarck, it has a lot thicker armor overall than the Iowa. So here, as you can see, it's still very well armored on the important parts. But, okay, so the casemate. Yeah, so the casemate of the Bismarck is a lot thicker than the Iowas. And that leads to the reason that you can only really Citadel the Bismarck with plunging fire and or very close, perfect shots there right on the Citadel. I believe I've done it with the Iowa. I think in my HE spam video I did it, but... Here's the Citadel of the Bismarck, and as you can see, it's very red, very, very thick armor. As indicated by the plating there, but also not as thick as the Iowa because we're missing that final value, the purple one. But yeah, there it is, and that's pretty much where you need to aim. Like I said, anywhere that extends pretty far back there. Slightly above the waterline, but again, those plunging, penetrating shots through the deck. And let's see if we can look at the casemate. Yeah, so again, the Bismarck has a lot thicker casemate, which is basically the entire ship has thicker armor. But the deck, yeah, so the deck is not that thick compared to the overall. So the Iowa has two decks basically, the casemate and then the Citadel deck, which prevents some plunging fires as significant as the Bismarck, as more significant than the Bismarck had. Let's keep going. And again, guys, I'm just looking at this for the first time. This is kind of my first look and impressions video. And I have, let's show you guys, 8,100 battles, 63 win percentage. Decent XP. Nothing. Nothing as... How do I want to say this delicately? I'm not a super unicum, let's say that. But I know what I'm talking about. So take my advice for what it's worth, but also do some research for yourself if you think I'm wrong. But let's go ahead and look at the Wichita and show you guys why this ship is so hard to Citadel. And also go over the cruiser basics. Alright, so there's the Wichita. Full... Yes, so 27 millimeter plating, like we said. It can be overmatched by 386 and over. But no ship has... That the caliber doesn't really exist. Superstructure, main battery, auxiliary armor room. Let's go ahead and take all this off. And again, you just select it to remove that. Each part of the ship so you can look at it. There we go. Wow. Citadel, that's questionable. So the Citadel is right at the waterline for the Wichita, but it looks like only a little portion of it is at the smokestacks, and then the turrets of the Wichita, the Citadel is A lot of it is below the waterline. So that entire thing, we're looking at the Citadel armor. So that's pretty much where you need to aim. I don't know what the fuck that is. Maybe the turbine. And again, these are all the important compartments of the ship. The auxiliary armor room. So yeah, there it is. But I don't think I've ever Citadel a turret. Maybe I have. I don't know. Yeah, maybe in that one video where I called out people for abandoning their flanks, I was aiming at the turrets, and that's probably why I missed. Yep. So there's a good spot right at the smokestacks for the Wichita. Let's go ahead and look at a destroyer. All right. As you can see, the thickest part of the Fletcher-class destroyer is 24 millimeters of armor thickness. And basically, it's because they don't have citadels. The entire ship is vulnerable, so that's why firing HE at destroyers is recommended, because there's no excess plating anywhere. They're very fast, agile ships for the most part. So shooting them with AP, you're going to overpen 9 times out of 10. With pretty much any ship, unless it's the Akizuki or another destroyer caliber gun. But yeah, so here's the armor viewer, and let's look at Cleveland, just because I'm curious. Okay. Fore and aft end plating, 25 millimeters. Okay, so let's do another calculation. So Cleveland is a light cruiser compared to the Baltimore heavy cruiser and Wichita heavy cruiser. So let's do 25 times 14.3. So the Cleveland can bounce 357 millimeter .5, 307.5. So any ship above that can overmatch Cleveland's bow, and the Cleveland cannot bow tank that. So I believe that's King. What is King George's caliber? Did I go? Oh, I don't have 7 6s selected. 300 and... Nope. Yeah, 356. So Cleveland can bow tank 14-inch and below. Yeah, that is the video, guys. I could spend hours looking at this, and I am. But basically, if you want to know what you can bow tank, let's use my most beloved, my favorite, the Baltimore. Just go to the ship, go over to the armor viewer, go to the front end plating, scroll up. Fore end plating, there it is, and it'll highlight that ship, and that is the bow. So again, the Baltimore has 27 millimeter plating, and you just do that. You multiply your front end plating by 14.3, and whatever that number is, you can bow tank up to that number. So let's do the calculation just one more time. It's called the 14.3 rule. 27 times 14.3. 386.1. So anything above that, basically Iowa, Yamato, Grosser first, anything with 16-inch guns and above can pen the Iowa. Now the Baltimore. Again, there are some other metrics in that calculation, advanced penetrators and things like that. But on average, anything with a 15 or below, when you're bow tanking, you will bounce those shells. There's one more I want to look at because it's the only cruiser I believe that can bounce 16 at tier 7, and that is the Edinburgh. I don't know how to say that. X, upgrades and loadout, armor. Now this is going to tell if it's 30 or 32. It's 30. Okay. So, last calculation, 30 times 14.3, 429. So the Edinburgh can bounce everything in the game currently except for the Yamato. Now, a lot of you are like, well, I've bow tanked in my Edinburgh Edinburgh, and I've been hit for hard, and that's because it's hitting the deck. So all this superstructure right here, that is still weak. You still have HP in that, and it's only 13 millimeters of plating. So pretty much most calibers in the cruiser battleship category can pen right through you and get that HP. Now you get closer, the ships only have to shoot at your bow. You can bow tank a majority of that, and that's only at angle. At this, when you decrease that angle, they can pen that bow rather easily. So make sure you maintain your angle. 0 to 30, right about here ish. Then 30 to 60, it's like I forget. There's a certain dice roll. And then obviously, 30 or 60 to 90, it's almost a guaranteed penetration. But that is the armor viewer, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I explained things as simply and understandably as possible. Please watch Wargaming's video. I will try to link it in the description down below. But I appreciate the viewership. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we're going to get some Massachusetts gameplay in here. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Peace.